All right, everyone, welcome back into the channel. My name is Mark, and I hope everyone is having a great week. And guess what? It is still cold. It is still very, very cold. But as the days go on, as each day passes, we get closer and closer to spring, closer and closer to summer, right? Just a few more weeks, and we will begin to have nice weather, sun shining every day, warm weather, the birds chirping, grass green throughout the entire neighborhoods, and just overall better and more beautiful days, right? Because winter can be very dreary and depressing, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I never even liked winter when I was a kid. And I definitely do not like it now. One, because I just hate being cold. And two, I work outside all year round. So through like November, late November until, March, April, I am, cold. Very cold. I come home and take like an hour shower to thaw out. And yeah, I can't wait for winter to be over. All right, in today's video, I want to talk about a certain book that I am currently reading. And it's one of those books where, has anyone ever come across a book where they're so engrossed into the story, so in tune, so involved into the story that you don't want it to end? Whether it's a standalone, a duology, a trilogy, and so on. Going from how it's written, the characters, the world building, the dialogue, everything about the book is fascinating, right? And obviously, all books come to an end, okay? But there's something about this book that you're reading, like you don't want it to stop. And the book that I'm reading right now, I am reading it very slowly. Let me tell you what the book is, okay? The Floating Castle by L.N. Holmes. I am just over the halfway mark, maybe a little bit more, right? And next Friday, I am interviewing this author on my channel. So if you want to see this author and get to know more about her and her work, make sure that you have those notifications on so you don't miss it, because I cannot wait to dive into this author's mind and just learn more about her and her whole process of writing. And like I said, I'm reading this book very slowly. And I'm doing that on purpose because I don't want this book to end. I know there's another one coming. I'm not sure if the author is currently working on it. So I don't know when it's coming. All right. It could be next year, right? Later this year or next year. Who knows? But I'm enjoying this book so much, I don't mind that I'm reading it slow. And the plan is to have it done before the interview, which most likely I'm going to. All right. But if I don't, I'm not going to be angry. If this book takes me 2 to 3 more weeks to read, it is what it is. I'm loving everything about this book, going from the characters. And there are so many characters in this book. I have a list of things that I want to talk about with her, and one of them is about the characters. There are so many in this book. The writing, so immersive, so smooth, so structured. It's truly remarkable. The world building in this, okay, is truly amazing. Now I understand. This is my 3rd or 4th fantasy book that I've read since last year. For anyone who knows me or new to the channel, you know that I am new to fantasy. Well, for those of you that are new to the channel, I am new to fantasy. I understand. I understand. I understood with the very first book that I read. I understand why fantasy is a huge genre. I understand why people love this genre and love getting lost in fantasy books. Because for me, books are, not going to say an escape, right? I've loved reading ever since I was a kid. And I will always love reading. I will always have that passion, always have that love for reading. Now, everyone knows that I was away for reading for 10 years. I'm not going to get into that story. It's been told way too many times. But I will always have the passion and love for reading. So it's not an escape, but there are certain books, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with me on this, that you can get lost in, and everything else just gets blacked out. Everything else doesn't matter. Everything in your life, every responsibility you have is just forgotten while you're reading a book where you're so engrossed in. And that is what this book is doing for me. Now, I really wish I could stand it up over there. I gotta get something that I can showcase my books on for when I'm talking about them. I hate that I can't have my books in the background. I hate it. Space is very limited in my house. But I gotta find something that I can just put up here when I'm making videos. I was going to do this with the mini mics later on, but my house tends to dwindle down a little too late, so I would be up late making a video. So I could have easily just waited until like 11 o'clock, midnight, set everything up in front of my bookshelf and made a video, but then I can't talk loud because everyone's sleeping. So this will do. But yeah, this book is amazing. It really is. And I don't want it to end. It's one of those books where I'm loving everything about this book. Everything. Like I said, the characters in this book, the story itself, the world building, the dialogue. This author has done a great job with this book. And I know you're asking, well, how can you say that when you're not done the book? certain books you just know, okay? Certain books you just know that if it's going so well, you have a feeling that it will pan out at the end. And I know this will. I know it will. With the way it's going, it will work out. It'll be good. I know it will. And like I said, I am reading this at a slow pace and I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Because I don't want it to end. I really don't. Even like I just said, even though I know it's another one is coming. But I don't know when that will be. But I hope a lot of you have read books like this. I hope a lot of you have been so engrossed in a story that at the end of it, you're sad that it ended. Okay? You enjoyed it while reading it. You were happy while reading it. But at the end, and when you know it's the end, and say you finish the trilogy or the standalone one and you know the author is not going to continue it, that sucks, doesn't it? It does. Because you just wish that the author would continue with the story. Even if it ends perfectly, even if it ends just right. You want more out of it, right? You want more out of it. And I know that this one will stay with me long after it's done. There was only a few books last year that did that for me, where after I was done reading it, it just stayed in my mind for a very long time, and they still are to this day. Everyone knows which book I'm talking about, but there were a lot more that did that for me. And I love that. Like, this is what reading is all about, right? To have a book so well written in all aspects of the entire book, right? That it stays with you well after you're done. So, yeah, I wanted to get on here and express my feelings, my thoughts so far on this book. Like I said, the writing is so good, so smooth and structured. The characters, the dialogue, there is so much going on right now. And where I'm at in the book, it just picked up heavily. And there are so many questionable things that everyone is on guard. Everyone is trying to figure out who they can trust. Who's their enemy? How can I get out of this situation? What can we do? And the author's doing it so well. So well. And I cannot wait to chat with her next week, next Friday. Remember, next Friday, 8 p.m. on this channel. It's going to be a blast. It will be a blast. This will be my second author interview. And after the first one, I got a real itch to do a lot more. And I have her, like I said, next week, and I have a few others lined up, so be prepared. The Floating Castle by Ellen Holmes. It's an amazing book. Everything about it is fantastic. I want to finish it, but I don't want to. And I believe, and the author or anyone who watches this video can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that this is the author's first fantasy book that she's written. I know she has another one out, and I don't believe it's fantasy. I could be wrong. But if this is the author's first fantasy book, she did one hell of a job. And I know, I know what you're thinking. How can you say that, Mark, when you haven't finished it? You may not like the ending. It can end badly. I just have a strong feeling that it won't. That's just how I'm feeling about it. So yeah, put this on your list, on your TBR. I don't care how stacked your TBR is. Put this on your list. Give this book a shot. All right, that is it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I love doing this. I love being here every single week, making videos and just chatting books with everyone. When I found BookTube, I knew that I had to get on it right away. To be able to get on here and meet so many genuine people through this has been such a great journey. And like I said, I love and appreciate every single one of you. It's been an awesome ride. I don't plan on stopping this anytime soon. So be prepared for a lot more of this. This is fun. And I'm having a blast doing this. All right. So until the next one, stay strong, stay positive, but most importantly, stay focused. See you next time.